Hi, so today I'd like to take a look at Todoist versus Asana, but specifically through the lens of team and project management. Now, I have been a long time Todoist user. It is one of the OG task management apps for iOS, but now really for every platform. I've probably been using it for close to a decade now. For many, many years, I lived my life in Todoist. And when I started to build a team to manage work projects, I invited everyone to Todoist and we all lived out of Todoist. But as our work got more and more complicated, as the team grew, as the projects required a lot more nuance, we started to struggle with some of the limitations of Todoist. And so we started looking for a more purpose-built project management app. So today we're on Asana, which is fine. It is definitely much better at project management than Todoist, but I wanted to just take a few moments and show you Todoist, show you how it compares to Asana, let you decide what's right for you. Maybe over the next year, we'll see Todoist adopt some of the more project management layers that Asana has that I'll show you today. Because I think if Todoist can add some of those project management layers in, it's really going to be the platform that a lot of small teams want to use. Probably for huge teams, lots of complexity, you're still going to want something like Asana. So I'm going to show you on Asana what I mean by some of those really great project management layers. So first, let's take a look at Todoist. So let me share my screen with you. Awesome. Okay, so here we are looking at Todoist. And this is the main view that I love in Todoist. It's the Today view. And one of the things Todoist got right from the start is this Today view. It's been baked into their app since day one. And what it is as a user, you come in, you fire up Todoist, and you're taken to your Today view, which is what is on your agenda for today. It seems so basic, and yet something that a lot of task management apps, even like Linear, which we tried as well, get wrong. They don't have this. So I love that Todoist has the Today view. The other thing that Todoist has gotten right from the start is natural language processing. They make it super simple to take an idea in your head and to capture that quickly into Todoist. So how do we do that? You just hit Q. That brings up your add a task dialog box. And you're going to see as I add this task, me using natural language processing. So I don't have to lift my fingers from the keyboard, use the mouse, click a bunch of things. I can just add the entire task, assign it to the right person, put it in the right project, give it a deadline, all from my keyboard. So here we go. Let's think about a task. Let's do upload this video to YouTube. I'll spell YouTube right. I'll just put this in the marketing campaign project. So you see I used that hashtag to pull up all of my projects. I'm going to assign it to me. I just use the plus key. And I'm going to make this do today just so you can see that it goes into my today view. Boom. So today view, capturing tasks, two of Todoist's best long-standing features. But here's where it starts to break down. Let's go into the marketing campaign launch project. So this is my project. I've shared it with my team. You can see on the right-hand side, I've assigned some of these tasks to some of my fake team members here. This is a list of the tasks that we have to get done within this project. And that's it. Which again, if you have a small project with not a lot of scope, just seeing a list of your tasks is really all you need. Now look, you can view this in a Kanban board, you can create some sections. I don't want to say this is everything, but this is by and large the extent of Todoist project management features. It is just a list of tasks within a project. There's some sorting, there's some filtering you can do, you can get some custom views, but you're not going to get a lot of analytics on this project. Now, you could say if I'm a really small team, I don't need analytics. I don't need to see how this fits into a bigger picture. But I suspect if you're watching this video, you might want to start to see how some of your tasks fit into a bigger picture. All right, that's Todoist. Let's show you some of this stuff on Asana. So let's change my screen over here. So here's Asana. Here is it's not quite the home page. It's the My Task page. which is sort of the equivalent of the Today page in Todoist. But one of the things you'll see is it's not really just today. It's recently assigned, which is still a grouping I find very confusing. Things that are due today, things that are due next week, and things that are due later. That's fine. If you have thousands of tasks, that's going to get a little overwhelming. You can create multiple different views. You can create a today view in Asana, which is what I do in my Asana instance. This is just an Asana instance I created for the purposes of this video. But in my Asana, I've made a today view because it doesn't come natively with Asana. But frustratingly, that today view doesn't translate to my iOS app. So even though I can have the today view recreated on the desktop version of Asana, there's no today view on the Asana app. That's bonkers to me, but for another day. So this is the main personal view of your task within Asana. Great. Let's start to compare some of the project management features. In Todoist, it was just a list. So I added some things here to my client onboarding project. So you see I have a bunch of projects on the side here, or we can go into the website redesign project. So it is by and large still just a list. But if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see a bunch of different views. And here's where Asana starts to get more interesting if you're managing projects. So I do have a Kanban view. That just wasn't set up in Todoist, but Todoist does have that. I have a timeline view. Now, I only have a few tasks that I've put into this fake project for the moment, but that's already helpful. I can start to stage out tasks over a period of time, over weeks, over a quarter, over a year. So if I'm in construction management, or if I'm producing an independent movie and that's going to take 9 months to shoot or 9 months to get to the shoot, you can see how a timeline view and adding your tasks and be able to see things visually over a timeline can be very helpful. But if I'm the manager of a project, one thing I'm trying to see or assess is how busy individual members of my team are. Am I overloading one person with too many tasks? So I have a workload tab, and I can see how many tasks have I assigned each person within this project on each day. So you can see Emily has 2 tasks to do on the 22nd. She's got 1 to do on the 23rd. If another task comes up that needs to be done on the 22nd, I know Sarah's got bandwidth. So this is already something that Todoist doesn't have. I can see who's at capacity. And there's different ways to visualize this within Asana, but just the sheer number of tasks a person has on a day is right there in Asana. So you might think, okay, that's sort of interesting. Per project, I can see how busy someone is. But Asana takes it a step further because you can create portfolios, and a portfolio is a grouping of projects, and I can see capacity at the portfolio level as well as at the project level. So I've started to create a portfolio here in Asana, and this is capturing my 3 current projects: the marketing campaign launch, the client onboarding, and the website redesign. Now I can go into that same workload tab and see how busy an individual team member is across the 3 projects. So if I'm a small team that's client facing and we've got 4 clients that we're working with at the moment, I can see how busy somebody is across all 4 clients. So that's workloads in Asana, which is something Todoist does not have. But there's something else that I really like about Asana, and I'm going to go over here. It's this goals feature. Because it's great to complete tasks every day, right? You come in, complete 10 tasks, it was a good day. But managers and team members want to know how those tasks relate to a bigger picture. So I think I've already created a fake goal in here. Let's find out. Yep, okay, so goal already. Complete the website redesign and launch. And I think if I did this right, I connected that to 2 projects. And I'm saying, this is my goal. I want it done in Q3 of 25. How are we doing on getting to that goal. I want to get that website redesigned and I want to launch the marketing campaign. And so this is automatically going to track between these two projects how much we've completed between the two of them. And then I can share updates that, with the team, let people know how this goal is coming along. But this tracks automatically. And there's other ways you can track goals. But you can see if I come back in here. So right now we're at 7%, and I check off two things here, and I go back into my goal, I'm now 21% complete. And I can periodically give the team an update on how we're doing. I can say, just went from 7%, 21% completion today. Way to go, team. And I can post that for my entire team. So you can just start to see how with Asana, the tasks that I'm completing and that my teammates are completing on a day-to-day basis are fitting into a bigger picture. And as you start to manage a lot of projects and managing a lot of team members and their capacity, Asana is just a better choice. It doesn't have all the keyboard shortcuts. It doesn't have the natural language processing to the extent that Todoist has. It's a little clunkier. It's what we're using right now because we do need to see things from a bigger picture, but we really do miss the quality of life touches from Todoist. So we are rooting for Todoist to add in some of those project management views that are currently in Asana. Before I go to that, I do just want to show you guys the pricing differences between the two different apps because it's pretty extreme. Okay, let me pull up the pricing here. Okay, great. So here is the pricing for Todoist. We were in the business plan, I believe. Billed monthly, that's $8 a month per team member. Not bad. Let's look at Asana. I think with Asana, we're on the advanced plan. We're paying monthly just because we like the flexibility. We might not stick with it all year, so we don't like to commit. That is $30.49 per team member per month. Are we getting a lot more views? Yes. Is it worth more than 3 times as much? I don't know. You be the judge. So I would even say if Todoist wanted to go in and add in some of those project management layers, that they've got more headroom to charge even more money for teams that want more project management features and still compete heavily with Asana on pricing. All right, there you go. Todoist versus Asana. What's right for you? Let me know in the comments below or on Threads, focustools.xyz on Threads. Gotta say it, if you like this video, if you want to see more, this is really one of my first videos that I'm doing for this channel in like 3 years. If this is helpful, if folks want to see more of these videos, happy to keep making them, but subscribe wherever the button is to let me know, and I'll keep making some of these videos for you guys. All right, thanks. Take care, everyone.